66% of men are either overweight or obese, and you might be in that 66%. But if you no longer want to be a part of that crowd and you want to become a top 30%er, then this is the exact guide on how to look more aesthetic. I'm not going to do no fluff, no bullshit. It's just going to be honest, real advice. So if you want to get aesthetic by the end of the year, make sure you watched all of this video because I'm going to go through everything that you need to do today. The most obvious thing we have to do at the start of this process is set a very, very clear goal. This is sort of like a roadmap. This is your blueprint for success. You wouldn't go on a road trip somewhere without having any navigation devices. The same thing applies with your fitness. So I want you to think of it like this. If you're currently 25% body fat, your goal should be, okay, I want to get below 18. If you're 30% body fat, your first goal should be, let's get below 25%, and then slowly work your way down. But you need to have a goal in mind. You want to set a long-term goal, a medium-term goal, and a short-term goal. The short-term goal could be something as simple as, I need to hit the gym 5 days this week. With direction comes clarity, and with clarity comes action. And then the motivation will come, because you don't want to rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, sort of like a bad partner. Number 2 is that consistency. I want you to imagine planting a tree. You might be watering it, giving it some sunlight, giving it some food, but what happens? It doesn't grow overnight. It takes weeks, months, years until that tree is blossoming and bearing fruit. The same thing applies in your fitness journey. I see too many people quit within the first 2-3 months of trying to get in shape. And all the research out there shows that the better you are at delaying gratification, the more likely you are to be a success. All you got to do is read this book called The Marshmallow Test, and it will show you exactly why you need to learn to delay gratification. And that's why most people just mess themselves up. They're too harsh on themselves. They don't have the right mentality around actually wanting to get in better shape. But when your mentality is right, you will manage to stick to it, because trust me, it's going to get hard. It's never going to be easy. But the more you get used to it, the easier it becomes. And let's take it a layer deeper. This is your life. This is your routine. And one thing you need to start to think about is, it's not just about training every day. It is also about being consistent with that training and knowing what to do when you can't train. For example, I work with a lot of men who travel. Okay, that's fine. You're in a hotel. They got a hotel gym. You ain't always got access to healthy food. Okay, how can I minimize my intake so that I'm staying on my goals? You need to be on your shit as a guy. And if you're not, then trust me, you're never going to get where you want to get to physically. And your aesthetic shape is always going to look like the fat bastard from Goldmember, if you know what I'm talking about. Point number 3, which most people completely do not do, is track progress. Whether you're in the gym, you need to have one of these bad boys and just track your workouts. You can use your phone. It doesn't matter what you use, but you should be tracking every single lift, how many days you went to the gym, how much water you drank, how much food you ate. And the more you track, the better you become, because numbers don't lie. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't. And at the moment, you're probably lying to yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, I'm sorry, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. It's time to start tracking the numbers, because the reason that you are overweight and you haven't got the aesthetic shape that you desire is because you don't actually know what the hell you're doing. When you know what you're doing, you're a lot more effective with your time and your energy. And then we can make systematic improvements to your training and your nutrition. So trust me, my advice today is make sure you track everything you do. That is a very, very important aspect. And I don't miss a workout. I can show you my last 250 workouts on my coaching app because I track everything I do. Now, point number 4 is going to be hard for most of you because most men are followers and not leaders. But you need to stop giving in to temptation. And that means junk fast food with your friends every week, drinking alcohol every single week, eating pizza with your partner every single week, and eating the kids' leftovers. The reality is you have to start being a leader in everything that you do. No one can make me eat fast food. No one can make me drink alcohol. I decide everything that I want to do. So if I go out on the weekend with my friends and I'm like, you know what, you can have the chips and the fried chicken, I'm going to have a little salad with fish. It doesn't matter. Yeah, my friends banter me sometimes when I go out and I eat healthy and they're eating crap. That's fine. We're friends. It's all good. They might be judging me, but it's from a place of love and banter. It's not from a place of looking down on me, because they know that I'm someone who's purpose driven. If I go out on a date with a girl, I actually tell women that I don't drink, and I don't drink. I also do it to see what their response is going to be like and see how they react to me, because I want to know, are they judging me for not having a drink? And I've been judged for not having a drink before. That's a whole nother story, but it was funny. But the better nutrition choices you make, the better your body's going to look, and that's how you become a lot more aesthetic. Alongside tracking your calories and a simple tracking app like MyFitnessPal, you ain't got to track every single meal every single day, but my advice is to track at least 4 to 5 days a week and one major meal of the day, probably dinner. And that way you can get an understanding of how much you're eating. If you know how much you're eating, you can make smarter choices, logical decisions over emotional ones. That is how you see actual progress. And to wrap this point up, I want you to think of it like this. Your body is like a car. The food that you put in your body is like fuel, and the junk that you're putting in your body is like putting diesel in a petrol car. So you have to have that mentality that I need to put the right kind of fuel in this body to then have the aesthetic look that I'm going for. Point number 5, and I left this point till last because most people don't do this. I work out 7 days a week, 3 days Muay Thai, 3 days gym, and then 1 day I'll go for a run. I didn't get to this level by myself. I didn't understand what I was doing by myself. I had a coach. I've been an elite athlete my whole life. I've always had coaches. I've always had someone to tell me and show me the way. And then I learned myself. If you are in a gym, training hard 3-4 days a week, you're trying to eat right, but you're not seeing any progress, but you don't want to invest in some mentorship or in some help, you are being stubborn. Most men don't want to invest in help because they think they know how to do everything themselves. Hence why 66% of men are fat. It's simple as that. There is so much advice and help out there, but you don't want to pay for it. And when it's free, there's no skin in the game. And when there's no skin in the game, you are not going to do it. It can be expensive, but pay for a coach. And I'm not saying to work with me because I'm not working with you guys. Pay for a coach. It will make a massive difference to your life, your health, your fitness, and your mentality. And even better, you will then learn the skills which will last you a lifetime. And that is why you should pay for a coach. Whether it's online, in person, get the skills and knowledge. Getting in shape is not some magic trick. There is no magic bullet. There is no injection that's going to fix it. As much as you might have seen all the latest injections, that stuff ain't going to last you the test of time. Get the knowledge, get the skills, and you will become more aesthetic, just like me. It took me some time, but I got there in the end, and it was all through hard work, good nutrition, understanding myself, dieting hard. And yeah, I'm black, so you're probably going to make a joke and say, oh, it's my genetics. But no, it's absolutely not. But listen, I want to help you. I've got a free newsletter that I send every Wednesday and Friday. The Wednesday one is usually some deep workouts. Friday one is usually like a podcast or a training that I found to be very useful. If you want in, all you got to do is hit the link below this video. And then if you want to know exactly what to do in the gym to look more aesthetic, just watch this video right here.